Yo, what's up? Oh yeah, today we're talking about where should you go for your first dates. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor, and this channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, where should you go for your first dates? And I don't care what you guys think or any comments that are dropped here on this video because this is what I do. And I've been on hundreds of dates. In fact, so I've been single for 20 years. I've been married for 20 years and I've been single for 2 years. And in my first 9 months, I went out on over 50 dates. I continue to go on dates. It is not a problem for me. I meet women all the time. And if I want, I can have multiple dates with new women every single week. So, this advice is coming from an older guy who gets a lot of dates. And typically, I'm sleeping with these women within 1 to 3 dates if I like them, right? And they like me. Obviously, there has to be a connection, but I'm talking about your first date, right? So, if you've ever seen the show The Millionaire Matchmaker, um, not a fan of Patty specifically in terms of her advice on trying to on helping people find love when she's actually never been married herself, right? And she's only been engaged once. So her advice kind of sucks mostly, but there are a couple nuggets. So one of the things that she says in her show is in terms of the first date is you want to involve food and alcohol. Yes, there's people and women that don't drink, but in general, food and alcohol is a fantastic way to have as part of your first date. So, I am ultimately not a fan of coffee shops unless that coffee shop has a vibe and a DJ, whatever, but I will not meet somebody for coffee. Uh, if the woman asks me, hey, do you want to get together for a coffee? Sure, I'm down for it. But I will not take a woman out myself and that's the first date as a coffee shop. No. I have done a breakfast date and I've done a lunch date. Lunch can be cute, especially with mimosas. So I'll say, like, hey, do you want to get together for lunch and we'll have some mimosas? That's cute. But in general, I prefer an evening date that's not so time restricted. So typically my dates run anywhere from 3 hours to 4 hours for a first date. And you might be thinking, oh, damn, that's a long time. Well, okay, they go shorter if I don't really like the person. So, where should you go for a first date? I say you should go to a restaurant. Now, I'm not talking about Cheesecake Factory. I'm not talking about some takeout place. The women are very, very critical and they will be judging you and looking at every detail leading up to the first date and the first date. And she's not just going to give herself to you when it comes to intimacy without you checking a whole bunch of boxes because that's just the reality. And take it from me, as I've mentioned earlier, I have no problem meeting women and going on a lot of dates if I want. So, the restaurant you choose, this is this in this video, I'm going to cover all the details around this first date and the type of place you should go. The type of place you should go should have a vibe, right? Doesn't have to be have a DJ there because it's hard to hear the person, but it should definitely be a vibe. And I like to choose a place that's a little on the what I call swanky side. So again, the woman is going to be judging you on this and your choices, right? So if you choose a brew pub, okay, yes, there are women into brew pubs and there are guys that are into brew pubs, and it depends on what you're looking for. So I will tell you for me, right? I like typically women under 35. That's the sweet spot for me. 20 to 35, and you might be thinking, oh, damn, you're going after the young ones because they don't have children. Women over 35 pretty much have children, and it's not a deal breaker for me, but I prefer women without children. So basically, that means they have to be under 35, right? I personally don't have children, So it doesn't bother me if I'm dating somebody in their 20s because I don't have a daughter, I don't have a son. Obviously, if I had a daughter or a son in that age range, I wouldn't date somebody close to the age of my daughter or son, but I don't. So I typically date women under 35, attractive, and they typically like a swankier kind of place. So choose a place that has a vibe. Most importantly, choose a place, ideally, because not all places have this, but choose a place that have comfortable stools at the bar. I like to sit at the bar in the restaurant on the first date, right beside the date, so that I can be close and it's easier for her to touch me, because if she's interested in me, she will start to touch me on the arm and she'll start to laugh and go, ah, ha, 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 right? So that's what you need to do, is find a place that's on the swanky side. It's got good music. The decor is nice. It doesn't have to be a luxurious place or a super fancy place, but a place that has good food, good vibe, and it doesn't have to be that expensive either. So if I find, so I will share this. I have this thing with going out with Latin women. I like Latin women. My ex-wife was Latin. So clearly I had this thing with going out with Latin women. So I like to try to find a place that's got some Latin flavor in it. Uh, some some places are like a Mexican fusion or some other Latin fusion place. I'm not a fan of buffets. I like to actually sit and order like a meal. Charcuterie board place is fantastic. So the other thing in terms of where to go for first dates is you need to ask her before the first date if she has any meal preferences, so that you get an idea on if she's like, you know what, I can't stand pork. Well, then a charcuterie place would be an awful first date, right? If she doesn't eat pork. It's just like if she's vegetarian, she's vegan, whatever. Quick side note on the vegan: I do not date vegans. If she says she's vegan, I'm out, because most of my diet's pretty much a carnivore diet. It works really well with my blood type. So O blood types, that's the best diet typically for an O blood type, is their bodies just digest meat very, very well. So I won't go out with vegans, right? But I do ask them what their food preferences are. And just a little side note too, women are looking for you to take the lead. They don't want to have to guess what time, what day, where are we going for the restaurant, all this stuff. So they're looking for you to take the lead and you say, hey, look, what are your plans on Friday? And they say they don't have any plans, whatever. And you say, great, I'd like to take you out for a cute date. And they say, yes. And then you say, fantastic. What about 7 p.m. at this place? Boom. And then more times than not, they're not going to disagree with that place you've just chosen. So then you go ahead, you make the reservations, and you just take care of it. If you hear the sirens, by the way, you just excuse that. I I live right on this busy street in Peachtree in Atlanta, and the sirens come by 3, 4 times a day. And I've decided, you know what? I am not stopping my videos, because every time, more times than not, I start the videos and the sirens are going by. So where to go for your first dates: you go to a restaurant and a swanky place for dinner, for drinks, even though the Millionaire Matchmaker also approves of that. The reason for the drinks part and the alcohol is because it lowers inhibitions. It makes both of you more comfortable and open up. And so, guys, I hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as I said, that's what I like to do. I've been on a lot of dates and I choose someplace with food and drink. We'll see you next time.